So thrilled to have with us in our guests a couple representatives of the Boy Scouts of America Mohegan Counselor. Jim Mutschler is the Quinsigamond District Executive, who kind of oversees a lot of the Mohegan Council, and Ian Synder is the Outdoor Program Director. Welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Happy to be here.
All right. Well, Jim, why don't you give us a little bit about, for somebody who might not be familiar with Scouts, the Mohegan Council, just kind of the work that you do in the region.
Okay. Yeah, Mohegan Council is part of the National Boy Scouts of America. We service 30 towns in Worcester County, so about half of the county. Well, we service more than 4,000 youth during the course of a year. And in that, it's everything from the Cub Scout program that you know that starts at the kindergarten level now, all the way through the core Boy Scout programs and into even career-based programs like our Explorer program and Ventures that service youth all the way up to age 20. And so in that, you know, the common thing is people think about Boy Scouts, they think, oh, Eagle Scouts, or I see them in a parade, or don't they go camping? And it's much more than that. The Boy Scout program is built for the purpose of building character amongst our youth, building their citizenship and their outdoor fitness, their capabilities, and leadership, a very important part of the program. And so we do that all the way through the program, and the youth benefit from that from the standpoint of a certain amount do meet that Eagle rank, 60 to 80 a year in this council will reach that high level. But what we know from organizations like Tufts University and Harris International is that they've done some studies to see, does scouting really do what it says it will do? And what you see in studies, for example, in Philadelphia with Cub Scouts, is that as early as that first and second grade level, they begin to get connected to their religion, which is a core part of the Boy Scout program. And they also get connected with family and community there. And the longer they're in, the more impactful the program is. So you go, okay, well, scouting is good for the youth, but what about the community? What do they get out of it, really?
Yeah.
You know, and Worcester's a big town, big city. We also support, these other towns. In there, we have just this year through November, over 14,000 hours of community service delivered in these towns. The units make their own decisions really about the kinds of service that they do. But we do some bigger projects. For example, we did a coat drive for the Oak Hill CDC, delivered dozens of new and used coats to them as late as just yesterday. We have done service work for Park Service, or I'm sorry, Park Spirit.
Park Spirit in Worcester,
yeah. And they reached out to us about a year ago, and we've had a great relationship with the city parks and Park Spirit. We now have a couple of service projects coming up where we will help them improve the trail, improve the markings on the trail, including mile markers and destination point identifications.
With 50 some odd parks in the city, I mean, there may be
plenty of work.
Plenty of work, and but one of the things as a chamber member, which you guys are, and Discover Central Mass, we have a number of nonprofits that get involved because it's an opportunity, to kind of meet adult volunteers who oftentimes are looking for some way for their business or organization to give back to, with oftentimes a focus on young people and character development, which is a big part of what you're talking about. But Ian, as the father of two young girls, soon to be at least one of them a teenage girl, a lot of time and focus on their electronics and kids, less activity than, and thank God they're playing soccer. But Scouts is a big opportunity to do that, and you as the outdoor coordinator, kind of try to find fun, constructive ways to get them outside. Why don't you tell us a little bit about?
Yeah, that's right. So I get to do all the fun stuff. So I manage our 1,600-acre property in Rutland, Massachusetts. The property was purchased in 1926. We had a group of motivated individuals who were looking for a home for the Worcester youth to spend their summers pursuing outdoor education, outdoor activities. And so with the help of the service clubs of Worcester, they purchased that property. And for 93 years, we've been running summer camp there every summer.
Treasure Valley.
Treasure Valley.
Legendary Treasure Valley.
It is a beautiful piece of Massachusetts. We teach everything from outdoor skills, so starting fires, some of that kind of rudimentary skills, but also sophisticated program like model design and building, STEM activities focused on critical thinking and thinking outside of the box, using your hands and your mind together to solve different problems.
Yeah, and an unbelievable aquatic center,
Yes.
teaching kids how to swim, safety, all
Yes.
of those things.
And we have a beautiful 100-acre pond that we're able to play on, everything from sailing to rowing, swimming activities. It's a beautiful place, and we're lucky that the diverse landscape allows us to do a lot. So we can do everything from the waterfront activities, but we have a couple of hills on the property. The Mid-State Trail crosses our property, so we're able to do a diverse set of skills and activities.
Jim, just when you were talking about kind of the community service and the merit badges and kind of the work that goes on, and you reference a number of studies, and there's been a whole countless number of studies that reinforces the point, that schools can't be expected to do it all in terms
Right.
of youth and character development. And clearly, it's more stresses and expectations of families and two-parent families, or having to work, single-parent families not being able to kind of do it all. Scouting is something that is that value added. It reinforces kind of character development, importance to school, importance to community, citizenship. Those are all things that sometimes people lament we don't have enough of, and yet you guys every day are in the trenches trying to kind of build that.
When you think about family, it's really at the core of all of this, because in Cub Scouts, family is a very important part of the achievement process. The parents or the grandparents or aunts and uncles are engaged with that youth as they're learning new stuff, whether it's building a Pinewood Derby car and bringing it over to race it. It's an activity. The Boy Scouts have recently spent time thinking about expanding that relationship with families. We have had females in the Boy Scout program for decades, right, in the career-based programs and the older age groups of venturing. But now we'll open this up to invite girls into the core Cub Scout program early next year.
Yeah, and that's something that relatively new, but it's about inclusivity and trying to open up what it has to offer, right, with everyone, and in an age of economies of scale and efficiencies, it's something every organization is looking at.
And ultimately, we believe that our program of character development and good citizenship, appreciation for the outdoors, is something powerful for all of our youth, boys and girls.
Ian, when you were talking about some of the work, and we just have a couple minutes left,
sure,
at Treasure Valley and the activities and things, it's about team building, solving problems.
That's right.
And again, something that the workforce needs. People need to have successful lives, and doing it outside of a classroom setting in an environment that reinforces that kind of communication, teamwork, respect for one another.
That's right. It's a great opportunity for our youth to experiment with those skills, where in the classroom they may not have that opportunity. They're able to lead their peers and take on new challenges in a slightly different way than the standard classroom setting. And
you talked about the magnificent piece of property.
Yes.
You're part of Discover Central Mass, and you're marketing it for hosting events and activities that are conducive to such a great environment. You've got a Spartan race coming.
We do. This May, we're hosting Spartan for our second time. It was a great experience last June hosting them. Big thanks to Discover Central Mass for connecting us to people with like-minded kind of activities. Their morals work well with ours. Their activity is something that many of our scouts are excited about, and it's a great way for us to contribute to the community. Yeah. Making our property available to groups like Spartan is something that we're happy to do, and we're happy to host them.
So an obstacle marathon, but literally thousands of people over the course.
Thousands of people, yeah.
Will be coming to Central Mass and participating, competing.
That's right.
And then spending money in the region afterwards.
We can only hope.
Yeah. Well, Jim and Ian, thank you for being with us. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and Happy New Year, and I hope 2018 is a very successful one for you both.
Thank you, sir.